how to set up a small enterprise, or even how we can set up a micro enterprise. Then we work on this process or this program of what we call business opportunity identification. Okay, I have to look into, maybe I have a number of ideas, maybe some of ideas I can start immediately, some of ideas, yes, maybe they're too good, but they need a bigger investment. Some of the ideas, they're not really innovative, yes, but they can bring a lucrative investment. So we have to screen these different kind of ideas where it will make me to look into the right or the right system or the right track of business opportunity identification. I have to look for myself as an entrepreneur how competent I am. What are the competencies which I acquire to let me start or to look for a business? This takes me to go back to see what is my background, what's my educational background related to these projects I'm screening, or these dreams or these ideas. What is my working experience related to that idea? Do I have the talent for some ideas? Some ideas, they need specific talent. Do I have that? All of this have to be looked into. Also, in that first step, we start to look into the business plan preparation, the marketing and financing of the business plan. How do I do the analysis of the marketing, and how do the analysis of the finance for that business plan? What are the real essentials of managing a small enterprise? This, of course, after we finalize all of those elements, it takes us to the second part of the system or the program, is the pre-incubation. Step 2 is the counseling and technology tie-up, which may lead to a full-fledged joint venture. Here what we do is assist in finalizing their business ideas and developing their own business plan and acquiring licenses, linkages with technology providers leading to joint venture collaborations. Of course, this joint venture and technology collaborations, we do it through the UNIDO Investment and Technology Network worldwide. The essence of this network is mainly to assist in mobilization of foreign direct investment from industrialized countries to developing countries, investment in cash investment, technology transfer and know-how, and market outlet. So they are a fit partner to our program. When we're ready with an entrepreneur, with a quality entrepreneur, with a quality business plan, the UNIDO Worldwide ITPO network is an ideal partner for us for sourcing the right investor, either for cash investment or technology. It's the most important component for us, and technology know-how, and of course, market outlet for product or services from the enterprise we are going to create in one of these developing countries. And this is, here it became the right match for the business setup in the UNIDO IDIP modality, that we create an enterprise first through the domestic investment component by bringing up the quality and the spirit of the entrepreneur through confidence building through the pre-incubation process, and developing the right viable business plan with access to finance. Then start linkages with the UNIDO ITPOs for sourcing the right investor, mainly technology provision, but then also goes into cash investment and market outlet. So this have really institutionalized the UNIDO IDIP program and activities through developing of domestic investment to leverage foreign direct investment. So it fulfilled all the component of the UNIDO IDIP program. Pre-incubation, of course, is still in step 3, is the financial linkages. When we are ready with component 1, the preparation and empowerment, and step 2 in the business counseling, it takes us to financial linkages. Now we are ready for the financial institution to provide our business plan, because we are ready with a quality entrepreneur and with all the component of a business plan, from market analysis or financial analysis or technical analysis. Here we have to look into the financial linkages which should be identified, because is it micro finance, is it small finance or medium, or is it a venture capital or a business angel finance, according to the requirement, of course, of the investment. Need-based advice and support provided by the financial counselors. Here the financial counselor within that financial institution have to look into the ready now business plan which have been developed through the business counselor to see if there are missing gaps for the financial institution to do his financial analysis to accept the viability of that new enterprise. And of course, this differs from a microfinance or from a small or medium finance, or from a venture capital or a business angel finance. Now, this takes us to step 4, which is the incubation in the EDIP program in general. And here in the incubation, we have virtual or outward incubation. It depends on the type of the incubation. In the in-wall incubation, we just provide the physical support. In the outside incubation, it could be any kind of businesses, but not to provide the physical support. This now brings us to step 5, which is the post-incubation or the growth. So in step 5 in the growth, it is mainly we do what we call mentoring. As you remember, I said during the first step, so the business counselor, we counsel the entrepreneur and we start coaching the entrepreneur. In the growth setup or in the growth process, we call it mentoring. We start mentoring the entrepreneur to develop a growth business plan. What do we do here? Mainly we provide what we call technical support, mentoring, and administrative support, mentoring. This will allow us to do the developing of a growth business plans. Of course, business counseling and co-entrepreneurship and angel programs that we start, while we're doing this mentoring, we start to see maybe the entrepreneur could do co-entrepreneurship with another entrepreneur. You know, maybe an entrepreneur in a business, he can do very good in the marketing. Another entrepreneur has a very good information on the technical part of the enterprise, so they can merge together and be co-entrepreneurs. Or sometimes there are what we call in the business angels, there are sleeping partners that they provide the finance, but they allow the entrepreneur to start and develop their business. So here also it comes into this kind of support that for a growth of an enterprise, you can look or develop a business angel program where several people will come and put money in a business angel program, and they will let the project or the enterprise to be developed and to be grown with an entrepreneur, and they will only be acting as a sleeping partner. Nowadays, when we talk about the co-entrepreneurs, or we talk about the business angels, we talk about also technology upgrading, because the business angel sometimes, or even the co-entrepreneur, he can be a technology provider. He can come with me to provide the technology upgrading for my company, or I can just purchase this technology. The importance of co-entrepreneurship today is very important, because the more we can see entrepreneurs, they can come together and they can develop the business together, the more the business can sustain and can grow and can grow faster. Or even when we look into the business angel setups, and even if we want to upgrade a technology or to grow with an innovative technology, why not I bring an entrepreneur and I develop a business with the entrepreneur? The entrepreneur will have a share as a co-entrepreneur on the business, because he has the know-how, he has the technology, he has the innovation setup. I have the money as a business angel, or a group of people, they come together, even if they don't want to take it to a clear setup of a business angel, but they will invest on an entrepreneur who has a new technology, who can upgrade a technology or innovation, and he will be the co-entrepreneur. In the growth, of course, it's very important that for any enterprise to grow, either an enterprise which has a product or producing a product or services, it has to go on quality. And quality management is very important for growth of an enterprise or even if I want to upgrade, the enterprise, I really need to do the right steps for quality management in the enterprise. Legal support. Now, mainly for any enterprise, on the growth process, when they grow from micro to small or from small to medium, they started to move from micro to small. They started to move or to migrate from what we call the non-official, sector to the official sector, which means from it's just a business running with no registration or no commercial registration to a formal system, which they need to have the legal support. If they want to develop a joint venture, they need to have the legal support. If they want to upgrade their technology or technology acquisition, they need the legal support. So here we see, even with the company growth, the support services become more sophisticated and more complicated, and you need the legal advice to do that. And this is part of the growth program again. Of course, in the growth program, the minute you start to grow with your product or to start with your service, you need to have new region. You have to expand the dimension of your product, either from the community to the regional level or to the national level or to outside boundaries of the country you are working in. You need to export your product because now your products comes with a better quality, your products comes with a better technology, your product comes with support of guarantee schemes or financial schemes that you can export and to look into export markets and so on. So automatically this will take you to look into new markets. To look into the new markets means that you have to develop your product or your services into franchising. And now this is a very important tool for the growth of small and medium enterprises, that we see a lot of local brands, either for products or services. It is growing in the domain of small and medium. In the past, no, we only used to have big companies which can develop into franchise, a local branding. Nowadays, more and more we see small and medium branding of franchise. So it is a very important tool for small and medium enterprises to grow, is to develop the product or the service into franchise, because of course it's just the legal setup and the corporate image of the enterprise, and of course with the right access to finance, it could be developed into a franchise, and then we can grow at the regional or at the national level and even outside the boundaries. Clusters, for very important tool for bringing the growth or growth program, that you have to cluster the same kind of enterprises, either by product or by services. Export consortia. It's very important that export consortia to be developed in order to allow non-exporting companies to grow. And export consortia is another very important tool of UNIDO, which could be looked and developed into the growth programs. Subcontracting exchange is another very important of UNIDO programs to assist, for enterprises to grow. In the growth, of course, by providing all of these support services, there is a very important service that is required, is the financial support. The financial support is really required for a company to grow from medium to large financing. And this financial support to grow from medium to large financing, it varies. It could be into venture capital fund activities, or a seed capital fund, or even business angel, which will allow the company to grow from medium to large through the financial support systems. Seed capital, equity and venture capital. Okay. Then, of course, it comes to a very, very important also element for the growth is the infrastructure development. Here we talk about incubation and incubators. We talk about incubators, but in specific sectors, that sectoral specific incubators, agro incubators, for agro entrepreneurs, technology incubators for incubators, mainly linked to research institutions or universities. Now, women incubators, because some of the businesses of women, they really need, specific or special programs or attention, handicraft incubators. You can name it, all kind of clusters or a sector you can bring it into fits, incubators or sport. In the lesson of today, we'll talk about the Enterprise Development and Investment Promotion Program through the Arab Regional Center for Entrepreneurship and Investment Training. As you remember, in the last lesson, we have talked into details of the reason or the reasoning of the initiation and the development of the Arab Regional Center. Today, we'll talk about the programs, which is mainly the EDIP, the Enterprise Development and Investment Promotion Program. We'll talk, of course, of the outline. What is it all about? What do you mean by the Enterprise Development and Investment Promotion Program of EDIP? Actually, the program, which was started by the year 2001, from 2001 by ARCED, the Arab Regional Center for Entrepreneurship, and as we have said, it used to be titled the Bahrain Model, or the Bahrain Arab Model for the support services it was providing to the entrepreneurs. In the year 2007, this model started to be well known in too many countries in the world, and it started to develop and provide a lot of achievements and results for UNIDO. So UNIDO have adopting the model, and they called it the Enterprise Development and Investment Promotion Program of UNIDO, because it have materialized and it has proven that the right setup or support services provided by ARCED to develop the domestic investment, to support local entrepreneurs, or what we call them local investors or domestic investors or entrepreneurs, it became a very important vehicle to leverage foreign direct investment. It became the right vehicle which allow the foreign direct investment to invest in other countries, because they started to find the right local entrepreneur or right local investor in the perspective or the countries they're targeting. This is why you need to have adopted the Arab model, Bahrain model, to become the EDIP, the Enterprise Development and Investment Promotion Program, in 2007. Now we will explain what is this EDIP is all about and what is the support services or the services offered through EDIP. Step one. In EDIP, in step one, we work on what we call preparation and empowerment. In the early days, we used to call training, or we used to train entrepreneurs. We found after some time the word training is not really fit. We cannot train someone to be an entrepreneur. But we can prepare, we can empower someone dreams, we can unleash the entrepreneurship on someone. And this is a process. It starts from a classroom. This is maybe why there was a confusion at the beginning when we used to call it training. But we realized that we are enhancing the entrepreneurial potentials through a classroom program for 2 or 3 weeks. It depends on the targeted sector, or it depends on the region or the country. Before we move to the business counseling or technology tie-up, in the preparation or the empowering, it is a process. It starts by bringing what are the right setups to start a business. How do you think of an idea? How do you identify an idea? How do you bring an idea or a dream into reality? Why do I need to do this? How can I do it? How can I screen a number of ideas which will allow me to select one idea to be my future business? How do I develop a business plan? What do I mean by a business plan? What are the different components of a business plan? What are the support services offered in a country? This is all during these 2 or 3 weeks, what we call it capacity building, or the preparation for empowering an entrepreneur. What are the support institutions in the country or in the region which I'm developing this program, which can come and provide presentations to inform the viewers or the potential entrepreneurs what are their services. Financial institutions, administrative institutions, counseling institutions, technology sourcing institutions, they will all come and provide in part of their empowerment or preparation program for the entrepreneurs what they can do for them. Of course, also a lot of success stories. Entrepreneurs which are already in that society, they will come and present how did they start, what are the problems, the difficulties they have faced, how they overcome or overcame these problems, and they managed to go ahead with their businesses to start their enterprise and then to grow with their enterprise. In a nutshell, all of these activities together, it is in the preparation and empowerment to do what we call confidence building. Confidence building for the entrepreneurs, not on their personality, but on the project idea they selected. Because when we develop the confidence building on the entrepreneur, it will take us to the second step during the business counseling, where we call it business counseling and technology tie-up, where we develop what we call the business plan. Here, when we come to the business plan, it takes us into the second part of the activity of the EDIP program, is that we do what we call the risk calculation, or that we have to do a calculation of risk. Of course, after we develop the entrepreneurial qualities through the empowerment stage, and we started the process of the confidence building on the project which the entrepreneur select, or the number of the projects selected, and we screen them to take a project idea, we move into the second step, and this is a very important step in the EDIP, Enterprise Development and Investment Promotion Program, is the counseling, it's the mentoring, it's the coaching of the entrepreneur, but start with the right, what we call terminology, business counseling. Then we will move into mentoring and coaching at a later stage when we go to the growth activities. Here in the business counseling, the business counselors, which mainly have been developed through the EDIP modality earlier, that they work on daily basis with the entrepreneur to develop the business plan. They will play a big part in developing the business plan, but in cooperation with the entrepreneur. Because all the data collection, all the data analysis, it will be done by the entrepreneur, but of course with the guidance and supervision and support of the business counselor. So during the business counseling, a very important component also here we work on is what we call the technology tie-up. Because mainly in developing countries, as you know, most of the entrepreneurs are technology seekers, so they're trying to find the right technology. So in the business plan development component, of course, there are three. There is the financial analysis, there is the market analysis, and there is the technical analysis, which is mainly an important setup for the technology and the technology sourcing, negotiation, and acquisition. And we do this through the UNIDO Investment and Technology Promotion Office Network, where they help a lot, and also other circles of UNIDO, where they help a lot in identifying the right technology with the right costing and the right value and quality of the technology. But here also, in the business counseling and the technology tie-up, we can reach a full-fledged joint venture between a foreign investor and a local entrepreneur. And here again, this was a clear demonstration of the importance of the EDIP modality in that foreign direct investment will leverage, will be a very important tool for the domestic investment to leverage foreign direct investment in any country or in any region. Step 3, of course, after we do the preparation or the empowerment of the entrepreneur, that they are potential quality entrepreneur, that they will be able and capable of managing their businesses, because as we say again, one of the biggest problems of enterprise creation is not the number of enterprise we create, it is the number of enterprise we sustain. And the figure worldwide, 75% of the new enterprises, they die in or within their 3 years after creation. One of the main problems is the quality of the entrepreneur. So this is why we have to make sure that we're developing a quality entrepreneur through empowerment and right preparation systems. Then we go into the business counseling and technology tie-up to develop the right business plan. And here we come to step 3, which is the financial linkages. good quality entrepreneur with a good business plan, it means well-calculated risk, then this will allow me for the access to finance. As you remember earlier, when we've been talking about the existing environment in the MENA region, and when we have said there was a problem, and the problem was in the access to finance, and not the problem of finance, is the access to finance. Because how I can link myself, me as an entrepreneur, if I'm an entrepreneur, to a financial institution if I don't have the right business plan? Okay. Here what we did is not only by bringing the right business plan with the right calculation of risk, no, we have augmented the support services by bringing a good quality entrepreneur. Yes, through the business counseling, I will develop the right business plan, but earlier and from the beginning when I started to work with a potential entrepreneur, I developed the capability and the capacity of that entrepreneur. This will ease the access to finance, and it will minimize the risk for the financial institutions because I have a viable business plan and I have a good quality entrepreneur. Step 4, and this is a very important step. After the first step, the empowerment through the preparation of the entrepreneur to be a quality potential entrepreneur. Then through business counseling, access to finance, I'm ready for the project to start, the operation of the project. So we move to the investment setup of the project. And we have said that the problems is not the number we create, it's the number we sustain. And the sustainability comes through an incubation system that we should start incubating this entrepreneur for a period of 3 to 4 years to ensure that the entrepreneur is growing on the right direction through the different support services we provide and we offer. Step 5 is the post-incubation. After the first 3 or 4 years of incubating an enterprise by providing the different support services from quality management, from market access, from a better access to finance or venture capital, business angel, seed capital, then the enterprise started to grow and they started to grow smoothly. There is growing from micro to small and then from small to medium and medium and large. We call it post-incubation. That we start developing for them now the right placement between access to outside markets or foreign markets. And this comes to the real activities of what we call foreign direct investment support services. Because now the enterprises, they want to grow bigger other than at the national level. So it means they have to go for outside businesses or outside markets. In a nutshell, what is the Enterprise Development and Investment Promotion Program of EDIP? It is, as we can look and we see of the steps going from the red zone to the blue zone, sailing to the green zone. And we look into it, there is a pre-incubation phase, and there is an incubation phase, and there is a post-incubation. The pre-incubation phase, it is this area, this is the red zone, which is still, because it is a little bit dangerous because in the red zone, it starts with the preparation and empowerment, and then the counsel and technology tie-up, or even we can go to a full joint venture, even at a very early stage of startup of an enterprise, that we will be looking for the right technology sourcing, but we can develop a full joint venture between a foreign investor and a local entrepreneur, and then the financial linkages. Those 3 steps, we call them the pre-incubation. Here, in the blue step, we have the incubation phase. And in the incubation, we have 2 setups. We develop what we call in-wall incubation or out-wall incubation. The services are the same. In the in-wall, we only add what we call the physical incubation, that we provide a space or a place for the entrepreneur to start their business. The virtual incubation, the entrepreneur could be anywhere, but we still provide them with the same support services from marketing, development of joint venture, better market access, quality management, networking, and so on. But in the virtual incubation, they could be anywhere. They could be a restaurant, they could be at the airport, they could be in a mall, they could be in a farm, depends on of course on their project, but we provide them, as I said again, the same kind of support services. Then the last stage of the EDIP program is what we call the post incubation. As you see now is the greening, and here of course it takes us to the stage of that the enterprise is growing more and more, and here where we can really work on what we call the component of partnership between a foreign investor. In the pre-incubation, as we go quickly, as you see, as we said, it's the preparation and empowerment of the entrepreneurs, setting up the way we do it is incubators, health and fitness incubators. All of those kind of incubators, they could be a very important infrastructure tool for growth of enterprises. Of course, you move from an incubator to a full-fledged technology park. If you have a full-fledged technology park in countries or regions, this is really help as an infrastructure for growth of enterprises where they could be hosted in that technology park. Of course, research and development facilities, they're very important for the growth of enterprises. Here, we can see from all of this this provision of services and the right kind of services from, as we said, from empowerment to business counseling, to access to finance, and to incubation, and then post-incubation to growth. All of these elements of EDIP have made EDIP to be an international standardized program or services, whereas today it's implemented in more than 38 countries, from Uruguay to China, to, from Uruguay here to China, to a number of African and Arab countries. This is all administered through the Arab Regional Center for Entrepreneurship and Investment from the Kingdom of Bahrain, and the services is provided to all of these countries, and it is ever growing services, and there is always enhancement on these services. There are support from a lot of government, like the Italian government, where with generosity, they are financing number of programs in Iraq and in Lebanon, and part of also this program of the distance learning of the EDIP is financed through the Italian government. If quickly, I will just give you an idea of how an EDIP starts and how it grows in a country. If I take the Kingdom of Bahrain, as you see here in this honeycomb, the core of the honeycomb is the entrepreneur. It is in yellow. But then you can see all of those support institutions, they are part of supporting the entrepreneur. For example, the Bahrain Development Bank, and then the Minister of Commerce, and then UNIDO. Those three partners, they started the Bahrain model or the EDIP model. And then you have all of these institutions now, they came in the last 10 years supporting the entrepreneur. So an enterprise development and investment promotion program, it is always a well-coordinated program. All support institutions, either they will be created or they will be strengthened, as we explained earlier in the program, they will all come together and coordinate their activities for the better services and the better provision of services to the entrepreneurs. And this is, of course, stems from enterprise creation to enterprise growth. The laboratory which was in Bahrain through this honeycomb, which I said started here by UNIDO, and then the Minister of Commerce, and then the Bahrain Development Bank, and then of course the entrepreneurs themselves started and let us to work and develop a well-recognized international program and standard systems for entrepreneurs. And as I have explained in the earlier slide, how it's being implemented in 38 countries. And it is an ever-evolving an enhancement in this program. It does not stop. Every day there is a new component, and the new support services is coming to the entrepreneur. Now the new services is what we see today and what we demonstrate through this distance learning program, that we are providing all the EDIP program, all the EDIP services through distance learning, and this is a revolution in the system itself. So for the viewers, I think this is a great chance for them to work and to acquaint this new technological services, which is open boundaries worldwide, open boundaries for support institutions, open boundaries for entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs to really benefit from this technological revolution, the gap, which is now is becoming the tool for everyone who has a television, everyone who might have a mobile phone, or anyone who has an internet services where he can be acquainted with this new program of distance learning, mainly for enterprise development and investment promotion. Really, enterprise development and investment promotion is shaping the spirit of entrepreneurship. So start with an idea, start with a dream, and then go through the process of enterprise development and investment promotion. And thank you very much.